If you don't like a person's showing up in your reality, the way you're experiencing them, how about you reimagine them so they show up differently? Can you do it? Absolutely, 100%. Law of assumption. Let's talk about it. Okay, stick around for the end of the video because we're going to cover it all. Welcome to Patty's World. I am a transformational coach. I'm a guide. I help you step into your power, shift into the highest version of you so that you absolutely live the life of your dreams. Welcome to my channel. We talk everything mindset, manifesting, and some lifestyle. It's Labor Day today. I'm at home doing some videos, catching up on some stuff. And for the Labor Day, I didn't do my hair or makeup. Hope you're okay with that. But I'm doing this video because I just felt called, like, hey, let's talk about it. It's probably one of the biggest questions I have regarding people, because most of our manifesting relates to people, how people are showing up, whether it's coworkers, whether it's family, whether it's loved ones, whether it's an SP, whether it's kids, whether it's friends. We're relational beings, and our relationships are mirroring our concept of self, our self-concept, how we feel about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, and whatever we're assuming about that person and the situation. How do you shift? I speak fluent Spanish, so the CH comes out sometimes, not a lot. How do you shift it? How do you change it? By changing yourself, by changing what you're believing and assuming about yourself, the situation, the person, and the circumstance. Now, manifesting is all about creating in the mind, in consciousness. We go into imagination, we step into the version of us that is the version that has whatever they want, lives from that place, operates from that place. That's how I approach manifesting, and it works for me. And I do it without resistance, because as long as you're in the energy of wanting and needing, you're operating from lack. But when you live and operate from having and being, and you relax, and the more you relax, the more it shows up. Because when you're relaxed, when your nervous system is relaxed, you're trusting, you're believing, you're operating from certainty. Okay, that's foundational, fundamental stuff when it comes to manifesting. But how do you get someone to be different, to show up differently? You change yourself. Remember, people are always reflecting you. Whatever you believe and assume, and whatever you're thinking about them, including your self-talk, the self-dialogue, the conversations you're having about them in your head or with them in your head, and we all do that, you're pushing that out, and the mirror is reflecting that back to you. You're sending that signal out, and you're getting the echo of whatever you're believing and assuming of the situation. Here's the shift. Here's the powerful shift. Here's where you step into your power. You're the creator of your reality. Everyone is you pushed out. So what do? You change yourself. You change whatever you're telling yourself up here. So if let's example here, your SP, which is one of the biggest questions I get. Your SP, someone you love, they don't want you anymore. Or they're showing up in a way that you don't want, an undesired way. What are the conversations you're having? They don't love me. I always get treated this way. See, they're this way, they're that way. If you are affirming and reaffirming limiting beliefs and really ways that you don't want them to show up, that they're this, negative ways, that's what you're pushing out, and that's what they're reflecting back. And so what you need to do is interrupt that pattern and flip that belief. How would you like them to show up? Think about the end. If you could reimagine them, how would you like them to show up? My SP always respects me. My SP loves me. He always treats me well. Even before you have evidence in your 3D, you reimagine them. Remember, whatever you're experiencing in circumstance, it's just reflecting you. So use it instead of reacting to it and going into victim mode, saying, this is showing me something I don't like. Let me change this, because you do have the power to change it, and say, okay, he shows up, lovingly adores me, always makes me a priority, puts me first, is so generous, is so incredible, is so kind, always wants to be with me, is honest, is loyal. He is an incredible person, and they show up incredibly, and they love me and adore me, and we have the most awesome relationship, the juiciest relationship, however you want to imagine them. And you affirm and reaffirm and anchor these beliefs in. You make a decision. You forget about the past. Even if they show up that way, you're like, nope, not anymore. I've shifted this. This is old beliefs. And you go back into affirming and reaffirming. but you have to believe it. You relax, you regulate your nervous system, because the more you relax, the easier it shows up and the faster it shows up. And then watch them show up differently. This has worked for me with almost everyone and anyone I want to reimagine, or even people that I want to manifest out of my life. I wish them well, I wish them love, and I release them in love and light. And then I just go into a very neutral, indifferent state about them, and they fizzle out. I stopped giving them and the situation my energy and my time. They fizzle out of my life. I have done this multiple times and it works. But then also, let's say I want to reimagine someone. I imagine them in the best way possible. I give my energy and my attention into the version of them that I want to experience, because I'm the creator, I'm the producer, I'm the director, and I give people the roles they act, and I tell people how they're going to show up. We create in the mind, we push that out, and they reflect it back to us. Everything's an illusion, and we are imagining it and attaching meanings. So why don't you attach meanings that serve you, that benefit you? Why don't you assume best case scenarios that anybody that shows up is going to treat you well, loves you, adores you, thinks the world of you, is inspired by you, treats you well, is considerate, is kind, is honest, whatever you want to create. You're the creator of your own reality. This is conscious creation. And it starts in the mind. The thing is, people want to, again, I go back to the simple thing that we want to see evidence and then feel where we want to react to our 3D. It's the opposite. We create first from within, we push that out, and then we get the reaction. The 3D conforms, and you can reimagine anyone. You can reimagine, and I've heard Abraham Hicks talks about this. I'm taking this from Abraham Hicks and Bashar. He's talked about this the same way. If you have a sick family member, a child, anyone, the more you focus, especially children. I've heard Abraham Hicks talk about this a lot, especially parents with their kids, adult kids, little kids, and you imagine them sick or not well or not behaving. And the more you focus on that, you're magnifying it. Law of increase, you're increasing it. How do you get them to show up in the version you want? You imagine them healthy. You imagine them the way you want to see them and experience them. Healthy, healed, whole, complete, responsible, amazingly. I do this with my son. I script him in the most positive, amazing way that I want to experience him and that I hope for him. And I don't get bogged down on the negative, because remember, what we focus on, we expand. Whatever you label, you grow the story. So, best case scenarios, it always works out for me. This is serving me. This is all benefiting me. This is all working in my favor. And I make it intentional to focus on what I want to create. That's all it is. That's the magic. Take your attention of what you don't want and focus on what you do want. The thing is that most people, 99.9% of people, including me, before I got into this, I focused on what I don't want. Even when I ask clients, well, what is it you do want? And they start with, well, what I don't want. And again, when you focus on what you don't want, you get more of what you don't want. The trick is, the shift is to focus on what you do want, the wish fulfilled, the end, how you want to imagine healed people, how you want to imagine yourself healed, whole, complete, healthy relationships, ease and flow, loving relationships, a priority for myself, how you treat yourself and how you feel about yourself. Again, you're sending that signal out, that vibration, and it's being reflected back to you. When you're aligning and resonating, law of resonance, with people and circumstances at that level. You are the creator, always. However you're experiencing people and the meanings you're attaching to things, you are creating. This is creating in the 4D, beyond the world of the 5 senses. We are creating in conscious creation in energy, in spirituality, not in what I can see, what I can touch. It's all in imagination. We create in the mind. So law of assumption is, I assume the best case scenario, that it's working out in my favor. I always get what I want and I'm always treated well. And that is what the people in my life reflect back to me. So what do you change? Instead of nagging and forcing things outside in your world of the 3D, you shift and you change from within. And that's it. And then you practice it over and over, repeat over and over till you get better at it, till it becomes easier, till you're doing it by default. And then it's like second nature. And sometimes, we're always growing, we're always evolving. Listen, I have a coach and we all get blind spots because sometimes we get so bogged down in a situation that it's hard for us to, when you're in the weeds, you can't see what is it? The trees for the, what's that saying? Anyway, please put that saying in the comments that you can't see the tree for the woods. Am I saying that correctly? Okay, well, it doesn't matter. So when you're so in the weeds, it's hard for us. It can be, I don't want to say hard. I hate the word hard because we make things hard in our head. Things are easy, but we don't always get different perspectives. And sometimes someone who also approaches this conscious creation and understand these spiritual universal laws can help us see things differently and can help us reframe things in our mind. And I've certainly had that. And then it's like, oh, then I have the shift and I'm able to step into the version of me who has the solution, who has what she wants, who's operating and thinking and living from the version of herself that she wants, right? And so the biggest thing with your SP and with anyone you want to reimagine and experience differently, imagine them how you want to experience them. Your SP, the friends, the coworker, the children, the lady at the coffee shop. Just imagine that everyone treats you well, that all your situations are positive and easy and supportive. People love to be around you. You love yourself. Everything starts with you. If you love yourself, you respect yourself, you treat yourself well, you will push that out, send that energy out, and it will be reflected back to you. It all starts with you. So work on you, which is self-concept. I would say 80% of this is self-concept. Self-concept. Elevate what you believe and assume about yourself. And when you operate from a very elevated self-concept, you don't have to affirm for your SP or the money or anything. Things show up naturally because you're operating from a very high self-concept, the clients, the money, the lifestyle. So I always say focus on you, because when you're the highest, most elevated version of yourself, things just flow into your life with ease. And you get better and better at this. I promise you that's how it works. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining me on this video. One of the things I've been manifesting is health. Health, 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 health. I didn't realize I was still affirming old limiting beliefs. And so those are big shifts I made. I'll do another video on that if you're interested in health. I don't have to. The biggest one is SP, money, luxury, the quality of life that you want, a luxury lifestyle, which most people want, ease and flow, but most people are anchoring a mindset of struggle and lack. So, okay. All right. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you for joining me on Patty's World.